This is the same recording, June 4th, 2026. Well, anyways, I remember. I think it was like last year. I went back home. I went to visit back home. It was either 2 years ago or a year ago, but I just ranted. I ranted because like I didn't. I think people back at my hometown who are still there and like didn't move out. Obviously, well, not assuming, yes, not generalizing, assuming. Are they the same thing? I don't know. But my hometown's like 2,000, 3,000 people. Small town in Washington. The biggest thing we had was McDonald's, right? And so, whenever I like visit back, right, and I see like folks still back there with like no ambition and no nothing, um, it just makes me the worst thing like I hate to see is wasted potential. Cause like I remember when we were kids back in high school. And again, this is high school, dude. Like it really isn't that serious, but it seemed like everybody, well, majority of the people had bright futures ahead, and then and then you're just wasted to like a manufacturer like factory, right? Which it just makes me really sad because like you don't know what's out there, especially like when you're living in a small town. It's like you need to see the world, and to be honest, like I haven't seen the world yet either. Like I moved to Seattle, and right now this is my world. God willing, like hopefully circumstances better for me, right? Even though they're already good right now, but I can go see the world. I want to go to Antarctica, dude. Like I want to go to all these places. I want to be a little adventurer. But anyways, back to the story. So my friend, right? My best friend in the whole wide world. Love him to death. Like he's literally my brother. Um, I feel bad for him because regarding his circumstances, it's actually valid, and he has the desire and like the dream to get out there and see the world and finally live his potential, right? And he's like was it a couple years older than me. He's 25, right? But he's stuck because he has moral obligations to some things, right? And if he doesn't tend to them, um shit is gonna go down, right? And so everything was piled on top of him, like immediately when he turned 18. His family expect to be a man. He's gonna take care of it. He's a signed person, and everybody else is gonna worry about their own life. But if he's not doing things right, then it's like the world's ending, right? Very unfair to do to an 18-year old, right? You know, I look back at my videos when I was 18 on this channel. It was like I can't imagine all that pressure being put on an 18-year-old, just making sure sh- shit stays afloat, right? Um, but yeah, okay, I keep diluting, but yeah, that's pretty much his situation to this day. I feel so terrible, but you know, um, me and him made a bunch of promises to each other, right? We're both naive, 18, 20. Just like, oh yeah, by this time I'm gonna be this and this, that, and the third, right? Obviously, when you're 18, you believe in anything you say, and then you get lazy, you get burnt out, right? At least for my case. But it was, you know, I was having this conversation. I got very, very, very passionate about it. Like, no one's gonna come to save you, right? For example, right? We had like weight goals, right? He's seen me go from 200 pounds to 150, and at the same time he was working out with me, he didn't make as much progress. And so me being the cocky just asshole, I'll say it. Yeah, I'm sometimes I bring shit up that doesn't necessarily need to bring up, but people need to be confronted about it. I kind of play that role, right? And so, I'm like, man, like, what have you been doing like all this time though? Like, yes, you are a caretaker. But that means you have all this downtime. Basically, you're essentially on call, right? The way his circumstances, he's just on call, um, until the actual work starts, right? But he gets paid for the rest of the time, that just waiting time. So I'm just like, what are you doing in the time that you're waiting? Because I know it's definitely more than 12 hours, right? And so, you know, and he's been saying he has all these goals like, oh yeah, I wanna do this, that, and the third. Uh, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, so how come you're not practicing that? Because I know damn well you got a laptop, you got all these resources, like you just choose not to. And so, you know, you can't just wait and sit there and expect something to happen, right? Like I he just wasted time. And I even say this to myself, right? There's a lot of days where I just lay down on my bed and just scroll on my phone because I don't want to do shit, but that's not progressing anything. And like balance, right? I used to be this hardcore kid, like, for example, right? When I lost the 50 pounds, like I ate shit, slept, like just working out, and 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 just like nothing on my mind was like I gotta lose the pounds. That definitely was not good for my health, right? I only ate like a single chicken breast for three times a day, steamed vegetables, and just like a portion of Chick-fil-A sauce. I was eating less than like 1,000 calories. Definitely not good. That's no bueno. But it worked. It's not healthy though, right? I definitely fucked up some part of like, I don't know, some part. But yeah, back to what the core premise of this video, right? No one's gonna save you, get up, right? Um, you know, I just hate seeing people give up at life, even though, yes, right, I'm very privileged in my position because I get the opportunity. Granted, I don't know. I hate it when people like these people make assumptions about like, oh, we're all born in America. We got equal opportunity, this and the third, right? Um, I think it all matters on delivery. Yes, you are entitled to that opinion, but I feel like you have to tailor your responses to the person you're speaking to, right? Because not a lot of people are receptive to, oh, you're just a lazy fat fuck, put the spoon down and, this and the third. And I'm not even equating this just to weight, I'm equating this to anything in life, right? Like, why are you sad, right? Just tell yourself, don't be sad, and you won't be sad. It works for a lot of people, and it doesn't work for a lot of people, right? And so, that statement to some is like, yeah, you're fucking right. And then that statement to, another crowd, a large crowd, right, is like, man, you're really insensitive, and that just hurt me more, right? Know your crowd. Tailor your responses, right? That's what I learned as a young man. Like, you can't be saying all this controversial shit and, not to uh, be receptive to everybody, right? But yeah, what was I on, dude? Yeah, so no one's gonna save you. Get up. Uh, you know, no matter what your circumstances is, like I feel like unless you're facing genocide and stuff like that, then it's kind of hard, or like just like life threatening or something drastically that could threaten your life. But I feel like no, like say me, right, or him, right, my friend, caretaker, because he's boggled down by human life, right, and he has this moral obligation to take care of them. Very respectable. He's been doing it for 6 years now. You know, And the thing is, like, he could have said no, but you know, he's a amazing guy. And so, you know, he said, yeah, I'm not gonna give up on these folks. Of course, I'm gonna take care of them, right? Respectable. But it was definitely fucked up on how everybody just put that on him. But I'm getting past the point. It's just still, no matter what, try to find the good in your situation, right? Um, like, hey, look, I still got these career aspirations. I still got stuff want to do. I still have things I want to accomplish. I still have things I want to see, right? And so I'm gonna make the best out of, you know, my shitty situation and try to align time for what I want to do. And again, that's a very privileged statement to have, right? Not a lot of people have that luxury of saying stuff like that, or, you know, being able to have the opportunity to think stuff like that. Like I said, like, there's famines going around the world. There's, you know, kids are dying every day, right? Um, and so, you know, and I feel like that should drive you even more. Like, hey, I have the privilege to do this. Why not? I just do this, you know. Um, like, if you're in a situation where you deem it's terrible, but you can find the time, or you're able to, you know, try to make out the good, right? Like, for example, me. Um, you know, 9 to 5. I was in school for a little bit because I had to catch up on a credit, and then I wanted to do something on the side. And then I work out, I run, I do MMA. I don't volunteer anymore, but I want to get back into it. I should. But besides the point, like, you gotta think about your 24 hours in a day, right? You can even split days. Like, I don't run every day, and I don't work out every day, right? And I don't work every day, and I you know, just different stuff, right? Just section it off, like, per day, right? Like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I made a commitment to lift weights, and then Wednesday I'll run. Monday, Wednesday I'll run, walk, whatever it is. Friday I'll do MMA, and then, you know, just figure out your time. And obviously, you have your mandatories like work, homework, stuff like that, right? And then your side projects, right? Like, I'm working on something right now that could potentially, you know, exponentially, you know, pay off for me. But I'm not thinking, by the way. It's just a past I'm getting past the point, but, you know, you gotta make things work, right? Even if it may seem impossible, and all the odds are stacked against you, and you see it seems like life is crowding in on you, right? You're gonna have to make the best out of your situation. And I know that's coming from such an optimistic standpoint, even though, when, like, you know, others people's perspective, you know, life is just crushing them, and there's nothing great about life. But, you know, it's one of those things where I can't, like, argue, right? It's just all of a matter, like, what's up here. Like, I can't change your mind, you know. But what everybody can do is try, that has the ability to try, you know. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. I was definitely running in circles with my words the whole video, but yeah. Yeah, man. Great. I haven't done one of these in a while, but anyways, I'll do one thing I was grateful for today was, um the ability to, you know, enjoy my life. Uh you know, my job is relatively chill, so yeah, yeah. Peace, love, positivity, yeah.